Hey Kate, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Where are you dialing from?
I'm still in London. I'm flying back to Dubai in about a week, so I'm still enjoying the cold for a bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm in Poland too, so it's just getting warm here.
Oh God,
Wonderful.
no,
Can
here
you?
it's just more and more rain. It's not even getting any warmer.
This is true. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I remember you were just promoted, you got a new job. Huge congratulations about this.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so oh gosh, where to start without sounding a bit too big-headed? So my career is always focused on digital transformation, and I've always worked in the sales area and sort of working with some innovative technologies, working with a lot of deep tech. Um, Work with some pretty large organizations as well. It all started out in London, and then eventually I saw a lot of potential in the Middle East. So I actually ended up being based there. So now I live in Dubai. And very recently, I joined an amazing company, which will actually be announced in maybe a couple of weeks. So yeah, really looking forward to that, and we're doing some amazing stuff. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So my first question to you is pretty much related to your field, and it's the one I like the most. If you could have any superpower for one day, how would you use it to advance your field?
Oh gosh, I think can I pick them all? It's tough to choose, but at the end of the day, I think I'm a salesperson, right? So what I think I would love would be to hear other people's thoughts, see what they're thinking,
Oh,
and really just hear it. I would just love to hear it. I hope it would be good things that I'd be hearing. So I'm not sure. Maybe ignorance might be a bit bliss. Um, but I would really love to hear, their thoughts, hear what they really love about what I'm talking about, what they really hate about what I'm talking about, and then I can obviously pitch and divert and do a better job. Hopefully, I talk to so many people every single day. It'll be interesting to hear what they really think. I think that
yeah,
would be my choice.
that that would make sales so much easier. I understand
It
you.
would. It would.
What dream or vision you had about, the integration of innovative technologies in an intriguing way of how you can integrate your field and innovative technologies?
It's a great question. I think so. One area which by the way, I think we're already moving further into already, is the integration of hyper automation and AI into the business landscape. So into the concept of intelligent autonomous systems. So obviously, this is where businesses, they'll leverage hyper automation. They'll combine RPA, AI, machine learning, and RPA is robotic process automation. This is the field that I'm in. um, and they'll use that to automate and optimize a wide range of business processes. So intelligent autonomous systems would be capable of independently performing complex tasks, um, decision making across multiple domains. It will transcend the traditional automation capabilities that we have currently. So they would learn, they would adapt over time. I know there's a lot already going on in this space, and there's a lot of advancements already taking place. So, I mean, let's take, for example, the manufacturing industry. So, intelligent autonomous systems could, or shall I say, continue to, will make attempts at revolutionizing production lines. So, independently managing inventory, optimizing workflows, predicting maintenance, all these different things. So it really kind of frees up the humans to focus on creativity, focus on critical thinking, and things like
This
that.
is
So,
exactly what I
um,
wanted to comment. Yes, it would
yeah,
help us with our everyday task. It would make our work much more efficient, leaving us the creative space to actually come up with something new.
exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the combination of things like hyper automation and AI. I mean, it just leads to increased productivity, increased efficiency and accuracy across all these different businesses. And I've been very fortunate to actually witness results like this, and sort of see the vision that companies have going towards this, and it's amazing. So
Okay,
yeah.
so far we talked about good things, but what are the potential risks for companies to implement innovative technologies, without really knowing what they're dealing with?
Another great question. I think this is quite important, and this comes up with any and all technology sort of adoption. I mean, I think things like data privacy and security. I mean, these have to be top of mind constantly, especially if we're talking about diving into the business processes and automating certain tasks using RPA, for example. So, I mean, businesses gather a lot, and they process a lot of data, a lot of customer data, a lot of employee data. So they have to really be aware of the risk. And I think also technology vendors need to also make security just paramount to their service offering. So, for example, the risk of data breaches will increase. The more data there is, naturally, the risk of data breaches will obviously increase. So what are those technologies doing to prevent that? What companies can do to mitigate these? I mean, they should really focus on how the data is being captured. So, for example, is the data being captured by screenshots or OCR technology, for example? Are there connectors to their core systems? Talk about encryption, talk about access controls, regular security audits. In the Middle East, for example, we have so many data protection laws, especially in the UAE. You have GDPR in Europe. So all of these things, how are those technologies that you're looking to adopt, how are they navigating those different data protection laws and regulations? I think that's very, very important. Excuse me. And I think another risk, and this is probably what top of mind of so many people with, if you look at ChatGPT and OpenAI and what's really happening there, is people are thinking, what will that mean for jobs in the future? So people in general, not just businesses, need to make themselves aware of what this technological wave means for them and means for the skill gap and means for workforce adaptation. So for companies, it requires upskilling and reskilling their current workforce. Okay.
Most companies will require that, absolutely.
Exactly. They should really invest in training programs, help employees to acquire the necessary skills, obviously, to work alongside automation and AI systems effectively. Individuals, so I'm fortunate, I get to speak with a lot of the younger generation. I'm acting as if I'm that old. I'm also like to think I'm quite young. But they should really aim to focus on some of their efforts in learning about some technologies or gaining some skills, perhaps in data analysis, programming, creating some sort of digital literacy. It's important to embrace these changes because, as opposed to just going against it, critical and creative thinking will remain within our sort of human control, so to speak. But it's very, very important to also combine that and compound on that with those sort of soft skills when it comes to technology. So especially data analysis. I mean, the more data that's going to be utilized and the more data that's going to be out there, the more need there is to make sense of that data.
Great. Actually, your answer, it gradually leads us to my last question, which is, since you just joined Gleek and you're going to become our mentor, I would like to know, as a mentor, how can you think you can help organizations, solve this lack of innovation, not knowing how to deal with innovative technologies problem?
The great questions. I think the key here, and this is one of the things that really attracted me to join Gleek, is that this is something I've actively focused on ever since really arriving into the Middle East as well, is to educate organizations about the potential benefits and opportunities that things like AI and other sort of innovative technologies can offer to specific industries and their business. So it's really about helping them to understand the fundamental concepts, the use cases, the trends that we're seeing in other parts of the world. For example, it takes time. It really does take time. I didn't know how much time it took until I first started to obviously get to the Middle East. But there's a lot of folk. I mean, for example, in the UAE, we've got things like the FinTech Summit we just did. We had GITEX Global. We have a few in Saudi Arabia. There's lots going on to encourage new technologies to come to the market. I've obviously been fortunate to attend a few, to sponsor at some, and to witness the growth and the sort of emphasis. In terms of what I am hoping to sort of bring within Gleek and to continue is, because I've worked with a variety of customers, from small up and comers, little hedge funds, all the way to huge enterprises with hundreds of thousands of employees, Fortune 10 companies. So my focus has always been how can we help them digitally transform parts of their business. So I like to think I've got a good understanding of what it takes to take them to the next level. So I'll hopefully bring that, especially with the younger generation who are a bit confused as to how they can position themselves to make an impact at certain companies. And obviously, I'm very fortunate to see, certain technologies, for example, to not only automate business processes, but to identify where automation will make the biggest impact within a business. I think that's also very important. That's something that I would like to continue to educate, especially within the Middle East. I'd love to continue to educate businesses on that. And like you said, I joined the company not too long ago, and hopefully everyone will see the announcement very soon. And they are very, very successful in pioneering sort of that business transformation for certain companies. They're very proactive in developing their technology. So I really think what I said earlier about the vision of hyper automation and AI being combined, the company that I've joined, they're really they have that at the forefront of their strategic plan as well. So I'm very, very excited to sort of continue that. So and within Gleek, I'll just continue to help, especially the younger people. I didn't have the most normal or most common way into tech. So it's navigating that and helping them to understand how they can position themselves better. That's what I'll hopefully continue to do.
Absolutely. I feel like there are so many new technologies, it comes to senior people and it comes to younger generation. There's so much, but we're just getting lost because you don't really know what to use, how to use it. And especially if there are risks, we don't really know how to deal with them. So that will, businesses, they will benefit a lot from experts' knowledge. So thank 100%. You so much for this insightful live. In only 20 minutes, we got to learn so much. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thanks,
and I can't wait to see what you bring to the community, Gleek community.
And you, my dear. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you. Bye.